Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News, and this is the story people care about. This is the one, folks. We've got Victoria Fuller and Greg Grippo on Nick Vile's podcast today. As I'm recording this, and it has not been launched yet, after it is, I will have a full update recap. We'll pull quotes, clips, all that jazz. But in the meantime, we've got Vic and Greg share today what to expect when expecting drama. Bachelor Nation style. Make sure, Harry Styles, Bachelor Nation styles. Here's what Victoria posts today. She said, "We're exhausted, we're drained, but we're happy, and we're sorry if we have offended anyone, but we do hope y'all tune in." Let me tell you something. Whenever anyone's ever said, "We're sorry if we have offended anyone," you're not sorry, and you are offending people. I'm sorry if this is offensive, but ain't no buts about it. So we're going to get into what they have to say. They recorded it, I'm assuming, yesterday. You know, some people had said that Nick's got a special podcast coming out, and they were wondering if they were going to flake or if they were actually going to do the podcast. But there they are, the happy couple. They've done it. Here's what Nick had to say. Let's play the Instagram reel from Nick. Here they are. So let's see what it says. They said, "I'm coming in hot. Victoria and Greg sometime tomorrow on Vile Files," and this was posted last night. So there they are in their studio with the fake background and all that jazz. Zachary says, "I'm so excited." Ash Talks Batch says, "I'll give it to you. The promos are always iconic." And others are saying, "Oh my gosh, can't wait," and all that jazz. So we're going to get into it right now. And we're going to get into what she's said on previous podcasts regarding what she's looking for in a man and what that might mean for this episode. So here are some of the text messages I've been receiving from somebody who was at a party September 8th in New York City. I shared the one on the left with some redactions here yesterday with a few updates because people have been wondering about the timeline of this commenter, which could 100% be made up. But when we get into the timeline of what Victoria and Greg will say on Nick Vile's podcast, we're going to have to look at this information and see if it all lines up. I wanted to share this before we hear what Victoria has to say, just because that way it's not like I'm responding to her, but I'm just putting this out there. Nick, Victoria, and Greg were seen at the Blonde in New York City at an after party blank through on September 8th. Victoria and Greg were very cozy. No photos, but they were marked on the guest list. Now, I've looked at the guest list because I was very clear in wanting as much information as possible when I shared this, and it turns out Greg and Victoria weren't on the guest list, but they were on a list of people that actually attended. So when I looked at the guest list, it included Jake Gyllenhaal, Emily Ratajkowski, major names like that. I'm trying to think of other big-time models. Cara Delevingne. It was a who's who. Everyone was super famous on this guest list. That doesn't mean they all attend. That just means the bouncer knew that when they would have their name out there. Who actually attended and all that is a different story. So here's the update that I got from this person when it was like, what does cozy mean? Everyone's trying to read into this. Cozy meant that they were sitting next to each other on the couch. Never personally saw them kiss because wasn't completely stalking them. Also, when I first saw Victoria, she was in the lobby of the hotel alone because the Blonde is a part of the Hotel 11 Howard. So unclear if she was staying there. Then meet Nick and Greg inside the club. I assumed the next time I saw her. I talked to her briefly in the lobby, asked if she was going up to my party or to the party, and she said I'm waiting for my friends in a kind of standoffish way. She seems sad or nervous or anxious, not sure exactly, like not chill or happy, possibly anxious about who she was meeting. Completely all speculative, and I love it. It's speculative. So the person who saw them together said, "Hey, I saw her and Greg cozy, but I didn't know at the time that she was engaged to Johnny." Now, Johnny and when they broke up is going to be something we talk about. She might say that we broke up in end of August, in which case she's perfectly willing and happy to go get cozy with someone a week later. Get cozy, you're broken up. I mean, it's not Rome or anything, but get cozy. And of course, they were spotted in Rome like a month later. So the whole timeline of when her and Greg actually first canoodled will be, do they create the timeline based around the information that's out there, or is their timeline going to reflect the information that's out there? That's what we're going to have to wait and see. This is almost like discovery, folks. I hate to say it, but it's like discovery in a court case when you look at all the relevant information and see where it stands. Here's what she said last year on a podcast with Joe and the rest of the gang of Bachelor alum misfits.
So what's the perfect first date for you right now?
Are you asking because you want to know, Joe? Or
Oh, shit. Shots fired, Joe.
Listen, all I can tell you this is we're definitely going to have to stay in separate rooms because you will be tempted. Hey, listen. Listen, though, for real, No, I'm joking around. For real, like what
Joe
is
loves
like
his sweatpants. Okay.
Ceased. I'm gonna top out. This is too fucking much.
Tasha, you want to go?
So good.
Tasha, should we go have a drink somewhere right now? Let's just
Literally.
All right, Victoria, what is the perfect first date? I want to hear it. Like, what are you looking for right now?
Yes, no.
Sweetheart.
Perfect first date would be Joe making me pasta at home over a glass of red.
Of course, this was before he met Serena. So this was before his season of Bachelor in Paradise where he got engaged and is now married.
Fair.
Had salve. So yeah, no, I just like something.
And of course, Victoria loves talking about glasses of wine, which is funny because Johnny accused her of throwing a glass of wine at him.
No, we'll see. That's fine. We could stop there. That's perfect. Okay. So
What? Joe, you were like,
Ask a question that you told
What?
us to
I'm
shut up.
joking.
I
She
know.
answered it. She
at
answered
what?
it.
Okay,
Oh my God.
I have a question. V, real
It's
question.
wild, you guys.
So, at what moment do you guys, or would you want to go to church together if you find someone that you're dating and you like them, and you know, like at what moment do you think, okay, maybe he has a community, maybe he doesn't, but like I want you to come into my community with me.
Yeah. So
I want you to come inside my community.
I actually, I have already like been on dates and like asked guys to come to church because I feel like it's so telling
Mhm.
of what they'll do and if they'll put themselves in that position. Also,
If there's any priests that are fans of Bachelor Nation News, let us know and try to get a photo at communion.
it's my community. So if I get to see how he interacts with my community of people
Mhm.
and being in that environment, that just like says everything to me.
Mhm.
So immediately.
All right, so let's play a few other clips. Her audio is terrible. It sounds like she recorded this podcast with an Alexa that was in the other room.
And So I have committed myself to the Lord, honey. She's saving herself for marriage.
No judgment. No judgment if someone decides they don't want to have sex or wants to have sex. No judgment either way. Of course, when I have judgment, it's when your parents tell you how to feel a certain way. That's when I have judgment. That's called purity culture.
Okay. Let me stop you there.
Well, that's Joe's cue to jump in.
Well, yeah,
Relax,
yeah,
Joe.
okay, let's-
She's gonna be here for a minute.
This is a two-part question. Question.
Here we go,
Okay.
Joe. Here we go.
I'm going to ask the second question first because you just said it. Are you really saving yourself for marriage? Is that real?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Now, have you always been a religious person, or is this recent?
No, I actually grew up Catholic.
Me too.
And
Me too.
yeah, my experience of
Raised
God was
it.
a little bit different than what it is now. So I wouldn't say I was religious. I was more like spiritual, and I felt like connected. I just didn't have this relationship with God like I do now. So
Do you mind?
And good. And maybe her and Greg have that together, or maybe that church community got her out of a dark place. I'm not sure. But what I probably suspect is whatever issues she had, are still with her, because I think whatever issues we all have are still with us. That's why they call them triggers, because we can set them off at a moment's notice.
If I ask you,
Which, by the way, on Thanksgiving, we all get to hang out with our family, and we understand that. Everything's perfectly fine until someone's like, "How's the so-and-so?" And you're like, "Why don't you not talk about it?" And it's like, "All right, pass the buns."
why? Like, why has it changed?
I think that it's really this church that I started going to kind of just opened my eyes to who the Lord really is versus, and I don't want to get like too churchy on y'all.
No.
but
No, go.
Yeah.
This is it's a life-changing decision to make. So
Yeah.
Is
it
it
is.
non-denominational?
It is, yes. It's
Yeah,
non-denominational.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, move it on. Let's see if there's another clip we can play here.
I'll just no. There was. I don't.
Again, this is from a year ago. This is from probably before she knew Greg. Maybe, definitely before she knew Johnny.
We're listening. No one's hearing. What?
To my knowledge, I don't
Great podcasting, Tasha.
think, but I don't know.
You are lying out of your teeth. You just looked
Yeah,
to
you
the
are
sides
lying.
of
Yeah.
your wall. But it's
I don't know
fine.
if your church is going to approve of you lying. All right? I'm going to call the pastor. Okay. So now the big question, Tasha dropped it August 2nd.
By the way, I think Joe would be great if I know he just created his own YouTube channel. I think I don't know if he's still doing clickbait. I don't even know. I don't know what their contracts are. I know a lot of the Bachelor podcasts are phasing it out. I think he should do his own podcast. I think he's good. I think he should do it in person interviews. Joe's got a good sense of humor.
Okay, which we all know is going to be Paradise. Is it something you're considering?
When Paradise airs.
Are you considering going to Paradise?
This is a year ago.
I don't know. Joe, are you considering going?
Oh.
Okay, so there she is. Victoria Fuller considering Paradise. Of course, she went, and now we're untangling the Christmas lights of that mess, which was her season. And again, that next video for me will probably be what actually is said in the interview. We don't have that yet. It might come out any moment now. So if I haven't posted it yet, I'm flying to New York City momentarily, so I got to go do that. I'll probably try to post from the airport or wherever we end up. All right, folks, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button if this provides you value. Let me tell you something. If you watch 10 of my videos and are still not subscribed, that's on you. Get on board of the Bachelor Nation news train, and I'll have a podcast wrapping it all up this afternoon. As always, Bachelor Rush Hour. So we'll see you there. Linktree.com/Dave Neal has all the clips, or just search Bachelor Rush Hour or Dave Neal wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, folks, we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.